History is often filled with fascinating tales and important lessons, yet many widely accepted beliefs about the past are based on misconceptions. These misunderstandings can distort our view of historical events and figures, making it crucial to explore the truth behind them. In this discussion, we will uncover 10 common historical misconceptions that continue to influence our understanding of history today. One of the most persistent myths is that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. While Columbus's voyages were indeed significant in connecting Europe and the Americas, it's essential to recognize that indigenous peoples had inhabited the continent for thousands of years before his arrival. Various advanced civilizations, such as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Iroquois, thrived across North America and Central America. This misconception not only oversimplifies the complex history of the Americas but also erases the rich cultures and histories of its indigenous peoples. Another common belief is that people in the Middle Ages thought the Earth was flat. This idea is largely a modern myth. In fact, educated individuals during medieval times were well aware that the Earth was spherical. This knowledge dates back to ancient Greece, with philosophers like Pythagoras and Aristotle advocating for a round Earth based on observations of the stars and the moon. The misconception about a flat Earth arose largely during the Renaissance, when scholars sought to correct what they saw as a prevailing ignorance. Many people picture Napoleon Bonaparte as a short leader, a stereotype that has become ingrained in popular culture. However, historical records indicate that he was actually of average height for a Frenchman of his time, standing at around 5 feet 6 inches. The myth of his short stature may stem from confusion between French and British measurements, as well as propaganda from his enemies. The image of Vikings wearing horned helmets is a popular one, but it is a myth rooted in 19th-century Romanticism. Archaeological evidence shows that Viking helmets were simple and practical, designed for protection without the horns that have come to symbolize their fierce reputation. This misconception has persisted through literature and film, further romanticizing the Viking era while obscuring their actual historical practices and culture. Many people believe that the Great Wall of China is visible from space, but this is an exaggeration. Astronauts have confirmed that while the wall is long, it blends in with the natural landscape and is difficult to discern from low Earth orbit. This misconception highlights the tendency to overstate human achievements and the grandeur of historical monuments, often leading to unrealistic expectations about our ability to observe them from great distances. The phrase "let them eat cake," often attributed to Marie Antoinette, suggests that she was indifferent to the plight of the poor during a time of famine. However, there is little historical evidence that she ever uttered these words. In fact, many historians argue that this quote was likely fabricated to portray her as a callous monarch. This misconception reflects broader themes of class struggle and the perception of royalty during the French Revolution, illustrating how powerful narratives can shape public opinion. The belief that the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4, 1776, is misleading. While this date marks the adoption of the document, most delegates signed it on August 2, 1776, and others joined later. This misconception is significant because it simplifies a complex process that involved negotiation, debate, and dissent among the Founding Fathers. Understanding the timeline of this event provides a deeper insight into the challenges faced during the formation of the United States. Cleopatra is often thought of as an Egyptian queen, yet she was of Macedonian Greek descent. The last ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, Cleopatra was a member of the Ptolemy dynasty, which descended from one of Alexander the Great's generals. This misconception highlights how historical figures are often defined by their geographical associations rather than their cultural heritage, leading to an oversimplified view of their identities. While the witch hunts of the 16th and 17th centuries are often depicted as widespread hysteria in medieval Europe, many educated people at the time were skeptical of witchcraft accusations. Figures like philosopher René Descartes question the validity of such beliefs. The misconception that all medieval Europeans believed in witchcraft overlooks the existence of rational thought and skepticism during this period, providing a more nuanced understanding of the era's intellectual landscape. Lastly, the term Dark Ages is frequently used to describe the early medieval period following the fall of the Roman Empire, suggesting a time of cultural stagnation. However, this view is misleading. During this time, significant developments occurred in art, philosophy, and science, particularly within the Byzantine Empire and the Islamic Golden Age. The misconception of the Dark Ages detracts from the rich and diverse contributions of this era to European and world history. Understanding these 10 common historical misconceptions can significantly enhance our grasp of the past. By recognizing the complexities of history, we can appreciate the richness of human experience and the diverse narratives that shape our understanding of the world. Challenging these myths not only enriches our knowledge but also encourages critical thinking about how history is recorded and remembered. As we navigate the complexities of the past, let us strive for a more accurate and inclusive view of history that honors the voices and stories that often go unheard.